Hello, everybody, and so sorry for the delay. I know it's a big delay, but we had some technical issues that I hope we solve now. Um, we just finished the setup, and I think everything should be fine. If not, please let me know in the comments, but I think we should be good to go. Again, sorry for the delay. I think it's time to start working on this one. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to do today. And I know there's going to be a lot of new people coming in. I've seen a lot of engagement lately on the group. So I hope this session is going to be great for you and for us. And without further notice, let's go ahead and dive into today's session. I'm going to share my screen right now with you guys so you can follow along whenever you need to. So yes, let's get into here. So perfect. This is the third session of our free webinar series. In the first session, we talked about how we can create this AI animation that don't look like slop. So we took you over the whole process, end to end, every stage. Then the last session, we've done a deeper dive into how you can create proper prompts for your each tool. So each tool has an individual set of prompts. We sent you some skills. I hope you had the chance to test them out. And I hope by the end of this session, at the back end of the session, you can ask me some more questions so we can really figure out where something got wrong or when something got stuck. So we can really figure out and help you guys to really nail this process down. Now, what I'm going to do this session, I'm going to go over the full process again and go into the prompting again just a slightly bit, just on high level, so we can remember what we did in the last two sessions. Plus, we have some new members coming in into the group, so I don't want to leave them behind. This is just going to be a high level, and then I'm going to talk about more about monetization, how you can monetize these things. Because at the end of the day, I know that AI tools are getting more expensive. I know that the process of creating AI animation is not the cheapest in the world. We totally know this. We create so many animations here in our studio, so I know this is a real issue, but don't worry about it because we need to make up for that. So in order to make up for that, I'm going to show you exactly what are the strategy monetize and what is the best time to get into AI animation right now and not later, nor in 2 or 3 months. Right now is the best time because you can get ahead of so many people in 1 year timeline and look back at it and say, oh, it was so worth it. And trust me, this is really going to make a lot of sense. And then next Sunday, we're going to open our community live. We only have 200 spots available. We want to keep it tight. We don't want to overcrowd the community, so we can keep engaging with the crowd, with the people inside the community as much as possible. And we can actually give you feedback on the work and we can work together with you guys. Today, we also have a special guest. He's going to talk about more about monetization. He's one of the best guys that we currently work with in our team in order to help us monetize and make the most of all these animations. And he will be also be one of the key partners that will also help you guys in our academy if you decide to join in 1 week time. But anyway, this session is completely free. And all this information I'm going to give to you is as applicable as any other information out there. We just structure it. So without further ado, let's go into what we're going to do today. So for the next 90 minutes, I mean, we already kind of did 30 minutes because of the technical issue. So probably it's going to be a bit shorter. I don't want to keep you too much. But even if you cannot stay for the whole process, you can watch this thing later on YouTube. I'm going to show you the process again. I'm going to show exactly how we can make money out of this. And then we're going to show you a bit of the back end, how you can set things up. This is just going to be a bit of a sprinkle of information on top of what you need to know. And then we're going to have some Q&A. And basically, you can ask me anything, even if it's from the past session, even if it's from this session, any kind of concern, let me know in the Q&A, and I will try to answer it in this session. Otherwise, maybe in the next one, because the next one would be a bit more focused on only Q&A. Anyway, so let's reiterate what we did before. So how do you create AI animation? Very easy. This is the pipeline that pretty much any good animator out there is using right now. It's Pinterest, it's Midjourney, it's GPT, and it's Seedance. You use Pinterest to create mood boards. We use Pinterest in order to find the best type of animation, the best type of coherence in style. We can create some coherence in style using Pinterest. It's not the only platform out there, but I think it's one of the best one in terms of finding similar styles and creating mood boards. And as I said in the first webinar, this is very important to really get an understanding of your style, because one reference image can help you build a style, and multiple reference images can create your own style. And you don't just want to copy one single reference image, you want to create more and more and more. So Pinterest is the back end of our styles. We can look into it, we can get inspired, we can create anything. We can create mood boards. Then the next step would be mid journey. And this is where everything comes to life. This is where we create our style. So when we use Pinterest to curate our style, this is where we create our style. So we go to mid journey, and you can see there are so many styles that I designed. I actually did work on this kind of um, image last week. So you can see these are some images that you're not seeing anywhere out there in the AI animation world. All of them look flat, and Midjourney really helps you bring everything out of it, the shapes, the color, everything. And you can take the images from Pinterest, create a mood board, or create one reference image using Midjourney. And this is the backbone of any good AI animation that is going to be now. And I probably think is going to be in the next 6 to 12 months the same, because this process still stands for the last 1 year. Even though ChatGPT, GPT Image, and Nano Banana got very close and they're very good to do some things, they're still not as good as Midjourney to create these images. Plus, Midjourney is rolling out new and new versions of their tools. So now we are 8.2, and trust me, this is one of the best tools that you can use for your animations. When I first started, some of you might be familiar with the first channels that we started. It's called Societies R. We later on progressed from that. But if you remember those kind of animations, those were done purely with Midjourney and with their animation system. There was nothing else. We didn't use Nano Banana and we didn't use GPT Image either. So Midjourney is very powerful, but it lacks one thing, one very important thing that will determine if your animation is sloppy or not, and that's the coherence. And that's when the style really needs to focus. Like if we need to put some details, you see, Midjourney is great for creating the whole style, but it's not really good at putting details. As you can see here, there's some things missing. You see, the dog it looks good as a style, but where is the mouth? Where is everything happening? And this is why you use GPT Image and Nano Banana Pro. This is where these powerful models come in and really understand the images, and then we can just give some instruction of them. So we take the image that we created in Midjourney, and then we just tell, hey, do some small changes here, some very small iteration. Do not change the style. And then we get something like this. For example, I just created this poster using GPT Image 2.0. And this was a picture that I curated in Midjourney, but it was not clear. And this is where I took it and I put the text and everything else. And literally, it creates this amazing style with amazing things. So, uh, so when you use GPT, make sure you don't use it to generate pictures from the scratch, but make sure you use it just to kind of iterate a bit. This is very important. Then, probably one of the most important things that we can do is about seedance, and it's about animating the prompts, the images, because this is how you create animations, and these you do it to seedance. Seedance 2.5 is going to be out next week. Some platforms are already running it. So you should be very careful when you use these models because they are costly, but at the same time, they're very efficient. And this is mainly the difference of animating something that looks like slop or is very good or looks very good. But again, you can create slop with seedance as well. That's what we need Claude here as well. In this whole process, Claude is very, very important. Not only not only because we can create something good, but we can actually like take everything else. Let me just make sure that you see the whole presentation because we had some issues here as well. I'm sorry for that. I just got a message. Uh, let's, let's do this. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, let's go back to it. So when you go back into Claude and you create a prompt with Seedance, it's gonna tie everything together. And if you use the skills that we gave to you last week, it's very good. It's very good to use them because this is how Seedance really understands what needs to be done rather than just talking to it. It makes it way better. So use the skills that we gave last week. If you are new to the chat, look through it. It's under the last session. They are very good and it's very easy to install them. It takes 5 to 10 minutes and they will make a significant difference. Plus, Seedance is expensive, so you don't want to use tokens on prompts that do not work. Then let's just recap. Pinterest feeds Midjourney. Midjourney logs the style to make sure that everything works. We have some parameters here. Then the style becomes a character. This is how you create it. We create this into using GPT image and Nano Banana Pro. Maybe you can create some character sheets, and then Seedance moves it. So very, very clear, very linear. It's not very difficult to understand it. And we have some good examples that we did in the first week of the webinars, in which we take everything from first point to the last point. These are just some tips that we're going to send you the presentation after on the group chat that you can actually take, fit it in your Claude, or just follow along with it. So yeah, again, this is the main four things that you need to know for any kind of animation. And I beg you, whether you join our community, you join other communities, but if you want to do AI animation, I beg you, don't be cheap on using these four frames. I know a lot of people say like, hey, is there any workaround this? Any workaround this? There are other tools out there, but they're not as effective. As I can tell you this after working with this animation for the last 3 years, ever since Midjourney was live, ever since ChatGPT came, we were working with these animation styles. And we know that this process really locks in. Now, if you want to try some new things, if you want to try some other things, there's a lot of other tools that can help you. But if you really want the basics, and if you really feel like, hey, I want to make the most out of our money, where do I put them? Is in these four items right here. So you create a mood board, which is for free, by the way. Pinterest, you don't need to pay for it. And the inspiration is free out there. But you need Midjourney. You really need Midjourney. It's not expensive, but I do duly encourage you to get it. You need GPT image or Nano Banana Pro, and you need Seedance. And preferably Cloud. If you're so good at writing prompts, you don't need Cloud. But I think 99.9% of the people would would need Cloud. Yeah, and you can steal these prompts, by the way, all of it. But this is the part that I think nobody really talks about, and I want to be fully transparent with you guys. I don't want to work around the bush. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to hide behind anything else. AI is very expensive. AI is incredibly expensive, and it's so hard to make a return from it. And I know not everybody is fortunate enough as me or as some of the members of my team to be able to work with AI daily and actually be able to monetize it. And a lot of people that are very talented, a lot of people that could create some amazing animation get stuck at a level in which they cannot afford to go over, or they can not really know how to monetize. And it's a shame. We've seen a lot of examples online on very, very talented AI artists that create amazing art with AI that has never been done before. To be completely honest, it's insane, but they don't really know how to monetize it, and it's a shame because it's not about making the most money. We're not necessarily don't want to. We are not launching this community, or we're not trying to do these webinars to teach you how to get rich quick. This is not a how to get rich quick scheme. We are doing this because animation first, and then like we're trying to make this sustainable. And we know that in order to make this sustainable, we also need to generate some income out of this, because again, this is expensive, and unless you're sitting on a big pile of cash, you're not going to be able to create this for 1, 2, 3 years. So you really need to be strategic. So yeah, AI is very easy until you actually open the tools. So what everybody else sees, and I think if you create art with AI, I feel like a lot of people think this. Anyone can prompt, anyone can do this. This is so easy. But why does it never look right? And this is the gap. The gap a lot of the time is also the income and the knowledge that we have, because it's very easy to open ChatGPT, tell him, "Hey, I want to create me, I don't know, a car," and then like you go to the cheapest AI tool that animates things and say, "Hey, make the car moving." And it's very easy to do this, but nobody's going to hire you for this. Nobody's going to give you money to create things like that, because everybody can do it. And 99% of the people creating slop out there are not making money out of this. So there are three ways of making money once you actually have a stable understanding of how to create an AI animation. First one, and it's one of the easiest one to reach, even if it doesn't seem like, is the brand deals, because it don't require a lot of followers. A lot of people think like only if you have 1 million followers, only if you have hundreds of thousands of followers, you can actually have some brand deals. And this is not true. You can actually be a small creator creating very cool AI animation art, and brands will actually go for you. Now, the budgets might different, obviously, from a small creator to a very big creator. Don't expect to get money like Mr. Beast does on millions of followers and views. but there's still money enough to sustain this and actually help you grow. And this is what we're trying to create in our community, is kind of an environment in which you help you grow and brands can see you. And then we can help you also negotiate, and I can tell you some sort of strategies in order to actually know which brands deals are good and which are not. But again, you don't need to be a very big creator in order to get some brand deals. And usually it's going to happen if your content is good. Brands will look at you if your content is good and it would not care about that much about the followers. So good content a lot of time makes up for the lack of followers, but also good content attracts followers. And this is like a stability, like it stabilizes your growth. Then you have the client work, which is super important because a lot of people overlook this. A lot of people think that, hey, there are so many animators out there. There's so many people that are doing this job for like 20 years. Why would they not go there? Because they have budget restraints. A lot of these companies that are getting in touch with me, are getting in touch with my studio, are trying to figure out how they can make the most efficient animations without paying a lot of money. But still, they have a big budget. They don't want to go to an animator that would take, I don't know, 20 days, a month to create something that can be created maybe in 2 or 3 days or 1 week time with a lower budget. But again, this is where you come in, but you really need to kind of have like a proof of skill. You need to show it. So your Instagram or your TikTok becomes the portfolio. And then is the branch tree, which is at the top. You have your own product. So you can have templates, you can have style packs, you can have presets. And this is where you can actually help other people create something that you do. And this is one of the things that we really like when we started beginning the AI journey well over a year ago, in terms of putting content and people really wanting to understand how we do it. We created a community and it was for free at the beginning, in which we actually showed people, hey, this is exactly how you can create content. And a lot of people looked at it and it was like, yeah, this is amazing. We can actually create content that, I don't know, 2 years ago, it was impossible to do. And it was very simple. And a lot of people grew their Instagram. A lot of people actually got brand deals. And then we actually started monetizing that. And then they created their own style. And after they created their own style, a lot of people started asking them how to create that style. And then they created their prompt packs. Then they created some sort of presets, and then they started creating this kind of environment in which, like, I share information for other people that are interested to create some sort of art that I do. Because at the end of the day, this is the beauty of the whole game. You can actually help people out there with your own artistic direction, with your own things. And this is beautiful when you see people that are willing to understand and seek help from you in creating some amazing, amazing styles. And this is the beauty of animation at the end of the day. Because if you're looking at other domains such as VFX artist, there's just a couple of things that you can do with AI, but with animation it's endless. So you can create your own style right now that's completely different from anybody doing anything out there, and people would want to understand how you do that style. And then also client work. So again, with the brand deals, as I just covered, a small account can have real money. Brands come to you and they don't necessarily need you to be very big, because you have your own style. And this is what we're trying to help you to do in your community, in our community, is to create your own style, not just to copy. Now obviously we're going to share resources with you that you can just follow along and copy, but the best part about it is that you will learn how to create your own style and your own type of animation out there. So if you have something in your head, or you just experiment a lot, you might find something that you like and you can grow as an AI artist animator into this zone. Then we also have, as I said, like the businesses would like to get to. And one of the very good examples that businesses are right now looking at it is they think that AI is easy. So they create their own posters online. And you've seen how that AI style poster looks like. They look horrible. And a lot of people are trying to say that they boycott AI posters. And I totally understand it. It's very sloppy, it's horrible. I probably have question marks if I would see a restaurant that has an AI poster out there. So I do understand where they come from when it comes to this. But then this is where you can step in and say, like, you know what? I understand AI so well that I have the same tool as this guy that made slop posters, but now I know how to do them properly. And we have so many examples of amazing posters that are made with AI and nobody can tell they're AI. And at the end of the day, this is what you're trying to achieve, is to create a product, an animation, a video, an image that is made by AI, but it doesn't look at all like AI. And I'm not saying to try to trick people into creating deep fakes, by no means. But I'm trying to say that your art can become so good that people would not be able to tell how it was made. And that's the beauty of it. Yeah. And none of this really works without the back end of this. So you really need a stable ground to really learn how to monetize this. And this is why right now I want to invite in one of the people that we've been working with um, very closely in our community to help people monetize their products and monetize their animation. And he's Marcelino. He's actually working with us, and he will join in a couple of seconds. In the meantime, if you have any questions, I will try to look into the questions. Let me see. Yeah, let's just introduce Marcelino for now, and then we'll go back to the question at the end of the session. So yeah, Marcelino is our close partner when it comes to monetization and monetization techniques, automation, everything. He's very smart. He really knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for a long time. So yeah, Marcelino, go ahead, introduce yourself, and tell us what you do.
Hello, I'm Marcelino. I'm the CEO of Stratoma AI. We are a company that help influencers and social media people to grow their communities, and also for people to know how to monetize actually their product that they develop, and more towards animations, images, and also like even with small communities, we manage to monetize them. What we do on the back side is we have a couple of automations, how to manage their communities, how to keep them live, what is the best strategy to go to market of a community, and also how a brand will see you and what they will see from you or seek from you or your profile. So they have for engage and they think that you're professional. Because one thing that all of our partners encounters is that you can barely differentiate what you can really differentiate a people that is professional doing the content and a people that he's that just doing the slop. So we try to give you kind of a like structure, a path to go. So in a couple of months, your brand starts to look like professional. Actually, brands can talk to you, and also on your side, help you managing the community with automation, and we put people to answer the questions that the fans are asking, and also with YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, if your videos get really viral, we configure all the CPM things. So we give you the insights of the content that is now trending. So you can post more about it.
Awesome. And in terms of the strategies that you think that are working very well on online right now, let's what platforms would you focus on, or is it everything?
Of platforms, I mean, if to post the content or to manage.
To grow as a creator?
For now, like I would say, TikTok is really good platform to grow. Okay, because the algorithm is really good. If you have a viral video, it gets to all the people. But if you want to make more engagement with the audience, it's better Instagram. So what we'd recommend is post a lot of content in TikTok. At the best performance, you post it on Instagram. So it gets more like care or take care profile, so you can send it to the brands instead of a slop on TikTok. So we recommend in going in that two phases. And also if you are going to throw lives, depend on the country that you are from, YouTube is the main one, and on some countries it's better Twitch because they have more engagement.
Okay, that's actually new. I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing this. So yeah, as you can see, Marcelino is gonna be one of the people that will really help us in the community to understand how we can monetize things. It will give some structure, and if you feel like you can create something amazing that brands might want, that people might want to buy, there's gonna be a lot of structure, and you can ask those questions on our community, and we will have the answers for that. So yeah, I just wanted to introduce Marcelino as part of the group, and just to have some expectations for the next Sunday when we launch the community. So thanks, Marcelino, for joining, and
Do you do there?
I'm gonna be very excited to see what we do in the community as well.
Yeah. Go with the life.
Yeah. So
Ciao,
right
ciao.
now, this is pretty much what we're trying to do. As you can see, we're trying to help, and I'll try to give you as much information about monetization as well. From my experience, Instagram has been very valuable, but any single platform has its own strengths. So for monetizing, this is pretty much what we can say. If you have any questions about any of the session that we did before, please let me know. We still have a couple of minutes left for this session, so for the next 10 minutes, I'm all yours, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm just gonna look at the previous question. Yeah, somebody asked like when we can get the skills. I think you're assuming about the skills that we talked in the previous lesson. So the skills are on our WhatsApp group. We might want to reshare that so you can stay ahead. We're gonna post them on WhatsApp group again, so you can access them. And if you want to see how you can integrate your skills into your cloud, we have a YouTube session. Basically, the session that we did last week is on YouTube right now. By animation, you mean 2D or 3D animation? I mean all kind of animation. Literally all kind of animation can be done inside our community. We're trying to give you workflows for all kinds of animations, and we also try to give you processes that work. They are universal and they work. For example, the one that we talked about, Pinterest to Midjourney to Nano Banana and GPT Pro and into Seedance, they work with any kind of animation depending on the inspiration that you get. So again, 2D and 3D are big chunks of animation, but there are so many other styles that you can create. You can create art, and you can even create real stuff. So if you want to create VFX, you can use the processes and a lot of the things that we do as well. Should we go full in on Instagram? Now, from my experience, Instagram has been a life changer. I'm not going to lie. But if it wasn't for TikTok to help me grow to this level, I don't think I would have kept it up. So if you really want to start with animation and you really want to have a direct impact, like an impact right from the beginning, I think TikTok is the place to go. Now, when you do content, you should share everywhere. You should share it on Instagram, you should share it on TikTok, you should share it on YouTube Shorts, you share it anywhere, even on X or on Threads. You're never gonna know really where things are gonna pop out. Even on Facebook. Facebook is also amazing. So you can use all of these platforms that you have and you can post it. But TikTok is more for really explosion growth. So you're just gonna grow all of a sudden. And then Instagram is gonna take some time. It's gonna be a bit more conservative to push your content. But once you grow the brands and brands deals usually focus on Instagram. So Instagram is great to have for long term, but for short term, TikTok is amazing. There's no really a better or a worse platform. Just see which one you grow better. The group will open on Sunday. So Sunday we're gonna have less Q&A. We're gonna go over a new style. We're gonna create a style from start to beginning for the first 30 minutes, and then we're gonna have the launchment on Sunday right after the webinar. And the first 200 people will get the discount. It's just gonna be a 200 people. Only the first 200 people will get access to this academy, and they're gonna have a reduced price of $50 per month. And this is not gonna stay because after that we need to keep the academy as tight as possible. We really want to engage with you guys, so you don't feel left out. This is why we're trying to really keep it small. So after that, the price will increase way more, and in the next month is going to be $400. And yeah, to make sure you get the spot now if you really want to. Again, if you feel like this information has been helpful, the academy has a bunch of stuff like this, and we will host these webinars on the academy about any kind of styles, and we'll try to create as much and help you guys as much as possible. We have no presence on TikTok in India. Then go for Instagram. Instagram again is great. It's just gonna take a bit more to take off, but it really doesn't matter. As I said, like you can use any kind of platform, and you never really know where the content will perform best. From my experience, for example, when we started the first animation channels societies are, the first place where we find a lot of engagement was TikTok. It really blew up like right from the beginning, like from the first 3 videos, it really took off. We had like hundreds of thousands of followers. We reached around 800,000 on TikTok. And then like 1 month into, Instagram started to rise as well. So and right now TikTok is really much pretty much dead for us. We don't really use it that much because there's no really engagement, the algorithm doesn't push it. But on Instagram we have more stability, and we can actually reach you guys and give you all this information that we're not able to reach to you through TikTok. But again, you can monetize TikTok at the beginning, and then like as you grow, Instagram will become pretty much your best partner in business. What was the minimum amount of deal brands might give to a small creator? It really depends on the niche. It really depends on the niche and on the product. But I would say for a small creator, it could start from somewhere from 500 to $1,000. Now, these are very orientative and they can change. But there's creators out there with less than 10,000 followers that are making deals of around 1,000 to $2,000 per reel. So you create one video and you can get $1,000 or $2,000 just per one reel, even if you're not over the 10,000 followers. So it's very possible. There's a bunch of use cases, and it really works. Regarding the brand deals, who gives the creatives? Do we create our own stories? Does the work great? It really depends on the brands. Again, it really depends on the brands, and if the brands will usually give you a brief. But a lot of the brands are kind of calm about it, so you can express your creativity. How we usually work with brands is 30% is the brief because we still need to follow something, but then 70% is our take on the brief. So it's a combination between what the brand wants and also what we can deliver and what we can show. So um, it really depends on the brand. Some brands want something that's more creative. Some brands have no briefs whatsoever. They just want you to create a video for them, and that's amazing as well. But usually somewhere in a 30% for the brands and 70% for you. Will there be guidance or documents in the group to know how to charge and speak with brands who are reaching our service? We can definitely create that, and this is part of the monetization process. There are templates, and we can give you some sort of guidance of like, hey, if you have this amount of followers, this is kind of how to talk with them, and you should negotiate those prices. So we can definitely help in that and give you templates and documents, and we can even create custom groups just for that, so you can all share your brand. So if a brand outreaches to you, you can go into the group and ask the questions, and people will be able to answer those questions. So we'll try to give you as much guidance if that things happens, and fingers crossed you'll get a lot of brand deals, because this is what we try to help you. For a starter, what do you recommend to do in regards with content and creating animations? Test as much as possible. Test as much as possible. You never really know what content can go viral and what content might not. And even me, after so many years doing content online, I have no idea. There are some sort of things that that would make a video go viral. But for example, I can post a video today that I'm sure is gonna go viral and I'm gonna get 1,000 views, or I can post a video that I just did in 20 minutes and I don't think it's gonna go viral, but I'm just posting it for the sake of it, and I might get 2 million views, like it just happened yesterday. So you never really know what is gonna hit. So my advice at the beginning is just to experiment as much as possible. Try to find your way. Don't expect to get money from your first or second month. Like, I want to be realistic here. Don't expect to get rich after one night of creating animations. Again, I'm not trying to sell you guys a get rich scheme. I'm trying to create a process in which you can get to that point in which you can create animations, AI animations, or whatever you want with AI sustainable, and do this as a living or even as a hobby. So I'm not trying to sell you a dream here. They're saying like, yeah, you're gonna become rich after you post one reel, because this is not possible. If you're a creative person who has different level of vision to show your work, then it's great. If you're not, then you go with the trend content. That's a very fair approach. I think we all have our way of expressing, so I think everybody can have some sort of a vision and be creative. I believe that everybody with the right training can become a good creative. And then if you find a trend, you can put your twist on it. You don't need to be a trendsetter all the time. You can find a trend that might fit to your audience, and then you can reinterpret it in your own style. And it's so easy to do this with AI. Literally, there's so many trends out there. You like something and you say, don't copy it, just adapt it to your own style of animation. And it's really, really good. Do we post vertical or horizontal videos? Does it still work? It doesn't matter. It completely doesn't matter. Like obviously, most of the videos that you're gonna post on social media should be vertical, nine to 16. But we've seen so many success stories in which they had the 16.9, like the landscape version, and it just works just as fine. It really doesn't depend, and a lot of times the landscape version looks better than the vertical one. So I do understand it. It's more about the content itself rather than the sizing, to be honest. Again, it's more about what you have in your head and how you transpose it to a video rather than the actual sizing. Those are things that might seem like they matter, but they don't. I'm just going to give you another example that really doesn't matter. It's the logo or your fonts or the music choice. Most of the time they don't matter. As long as your content is good, nobody's going to care, and you can change them along the way. What's your actual monthly tool stack cost? Is this affordable to start, or do we need a serious budget upfront? Now, a question like this for me, I don't think is necessarily, let's say, I cannot really give you a genuine answer in here because we create so much. We literally have a whole studio animation right here in which we might even end up generating 1,000 to 2,000 videos using Cdance. And as you can expect, that's very costly. But um, when I first started last year, and I'm going to be completely transparent from what I can remember, starting with Mid Journey, a subscription to ChatGPT, and then it was a subscription to Kling. We managed to get to 800,000 followers on TikTok in around 6 months, only using these three. And I think it cost us around $30 per month, and that was it. So it's definitely possible to do. You don't need a lot. Now I know since then there's new tools and it's getting more expensive, but you can have so many brands that are doing deals, and we'll try to update you guys as much as possible on our community with the deals. For example, Hicksfield just had a free unlimited week, and they're still running it right now, I think, in which you can use Sedans with their subscription of around $30 per month, unlimited. Now, obviously, there's gonna have some limitation in terms of how fast the content goes, all the kind of things. But yeah, no, there's not really a budget to start off. Like you obviously need some money. You need like $30 to $50 per month to get this starting. It's not going to be free. Most of the tools that are promoting themselves to be free or super cost effective or whatever are not, unless it's like a big brand, as I said, as Hicksfield, that is actually running a campaign on that and it's telling you, oh, you have today free or you have 2 days or 3 days for free. That's more believable. But if there's somebody coming you and say like, oh, you can use this tool for free forever, it's not going to be it. There's no secrets in this industry that you need to know in terms of the payment. As you see, we also paid those animation as well. So yeah, we are working with a lot of animations and we do a lot of animations out here. So I don't think I can give you a certain answer right now, but for 30 to 50 bucks per month, you should be more than fine to get started. And again, as brands reach out more, I think you'll be able to upscale that and really actually make it sustainable. Obviously, this would differ from need to need. You might need some more animation, you might have something in your head and you need to do so many revisions, but using the skills and the process that I'm trying to teach you guys, I'm trying to keep the number of reiteration of regeneration as low as possible. So you're not going to see this and doing it like you're spending $1,000 per generation per season, because it's not sustainable, it's not good. But there are some tips and tricks that you can actually get that cost way lower. How do you pitch AI animation to brand that's skeptical or has never used AI content before? You don't have to, because there's so many brands that are willing to pay you right now for a good content that's cheaper and faster than other type of content. So you don't need to pitch them an AI brand. You just need to show them the product. And if you show them a good product, they say like, hey, I made this poster in 30 minutes and it looks better than the poster that you are waiting 1 week to get, that's enough. That's more than enough. You don't need to convince them it's AI. They don't need to know that it's AI. I mean, if you want to disclose it and to be ethical, that's completely fine. And but if I'm a brand and you tell me you can do something better as a design for me or an animation for me than somebody else and quicker, I don't care if it's AI or not, as long as it doesn't look slop. And brands will not tell you they don't want to use AI. Trust me, most of the brands won't tell you this, at least the big brands. They will care how it looks. The end product is way more important than the process, and it will always be the case, because even before that, Years ago, you didn't really care if it was a sketch that was hand drawn or it was using After Effects. Nobody really cares as long as the end result was looking good. How much time does it take to reach 100K followers on Instagram? Uh, mm, you can't tell. It depends. One video can go viral today and you'll get to 100K. You might need 1 year to get to 100K. It really depends. But if you post consistently and you post good content, that's way better a lot of times to get to 100K in the longer time than to get in after one night. And why I'm saying this, because anyone can make one video that goes so viral that you can get so many followers, but very few people can stay consistent 1 year creating good content and building an audience. And this is how you actually build an audience, because 100K followers that are actually your audience and interested in what you do, and they're like they're engaging with your content and knowing you, is way better than 100K people that just saw one video, they don't care about you, and they just mindlessly follow you. Trust me, brands know this, by the way. Brands know this when somebody just got lucky after one video and got to 100K in one day or on 1 week or whatever. So it's way better to stay consistent and create good content. That's the best strategy that anybody will ever give you about social media. And if you want to take away for something, then you want to become a creator right now on social media, that's the only thing that you need to do. The first thing, stay consistent and create good content. That's the only thing you need. And a lot of times you're going to have ups and downs, but you just need to stay consistent. So I know a lot of people saying this, but trust me, the number one rule of social media is this one. Do you ever mix AI generated footage with traditional animation editing, or is it AI end to end? The only problem with doing a mix is the copyright. We want to be as transparent with that, so I don't want to use something that has copyright issues. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to steal the work of the real artist at the end of the day. So when it comes to animations, no. But there's a lot of times in which you can create your own animation. You can definitely create your own animation by hand. You don't need to draw it by AI, and then you can enhance it with AI, or you can animate it with AI, or even take a photo and then like mix it with AI. That's definitely possible. Did you start by your own or with a team, and how is that affect the workflow? I started by myself. I started by myself with a subscription to Midjourney and a big interest for ChatGPT and social media. That was it. I didn't have a team. I have a team now because we have a lot. I had started to have a lot of demand from brands, and I can keep up by myself. So luckily, I have some really amazing people that help me, as Marcelino for monetization, for example. So starting, you're never going to start with a team, to be completely honest, unless you have some insane connection and you already, I don't know, unless you have a good connection or some really good friends that are also interested in this. Totally recommend it. But I started by myself with a subscription at Midjourney, and a huge interest for social media, as I said. So you don't need a lot of people to do this, and that's the beauty of AI. At the end of the day, you can just do it by yourself with a proper workflow and some good guidance. Is there any available space for internship? I have an idea about an AI video. We might think about it. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. Are you asking us if we're doing internships? I'm gonna answer anyway. So it's an internship question. Uh, we are not doing internship right now. We're just doing collaboration. So I'm collaborating with the people in my team. Uh, it's just how it works. Maybe in the future we might have internships. I don't know. But if you're asking about companies giving internships for AI creators, 100%. I just saw a LinkedIn ad on a job post for an AI creator. Literally, they are looking to hire an AI creator. They're not internshipping an AI creator. They are looking to hire an AI creator, and it's big brands. It's not some brand that you never heard of. And they are running advertisement for that position on LinkedIn. And one of the funny things that I saw was actually that if you look on any other job post that this company is showing, you're gonna see like hundreds and thousands of people requesting to join and like submitting their CV and submitting application. And when you look at the AI creator space, it's literally like 30 or 40. There's so much less. Um, there's so much less people that can actually fulfill this role because this is such a new thing. So this is the beauty of it. Like if you start to actually work with AI and you do it properly, you're going to have so much less competition than, for example, starting to do graphic design or whatever else is out there, because it's such a new thing. And it's not only in animation, it's also in VFX, it's also in AI automation, all these kind of things. So yes, while you can also build your brand, you can also build a very good skill, and a lot of brands will love to have you on board. And yeah, it's very, very good. It's very good timing if you start to learn AI right now, because you'll see how good these brands are going to pay and will have a lot of demand to get you on board. I'm working, so it's difficult to post regularly. Will it affect creating followers? Obviously, the more you post, the faster you're gonna grow. But usually, if you can stay consistent, again, this is the most important thing. If you can stay consistent and say like, "Hey, my goal for this week is to post 3 or 4 times," or create content in the weekend that I can post during the week, and I can engage with the story. If you're really consistent with it, I don't think you will, and it will affect the pace of how fast you grow to a certain number of followers. But in terms of being consistent, that's the most important thing. Is there a specific prompt structure format you always use follow, or does it change per project? In terms of animation project, I gave you the structure, but it's not a prompt structure necessarily. It's just like the structure of starting with a Pinterest board, reference, Midjourney, GPT image seedance, and Claude in between them to tie them together. As I mentioned in my previous webinar about prompts, it was if you use the skills that I gave to you, you can chat with them. And it's always good to just remind them how to use that skill. And you can use like what type of animation you want. Because, for example, animations for 3D animations are very different in moving from the 2D animation. So you need to remind Claude what type of animation you do. Is there a way to reach the AI programs and become a partner so that we get free credits? Yeah, a lot of brands are doing this. A lot of brands are doing this. There's a bunch of programs that you can join, and you can just submit your videos, and then you can get free credits, or they can even pay you to create a lot of videos or animations for them. So uh, look at that. There's a lot of them. I We can share it on the community as well. I know most of the brands are running this. Now I see many people are doing AI. How do I stand out? Um, Everybody does AI, yes. How many people have you seen actually doing it very successful? Not a lot. And apart from being consistent, which is applicable for any types of content, it's also the vision that you have and the way that you process that vision and how you can actually put what's in your mind out there. And it's only by staying consistent. So there's going to be a lot of people doing anything in there. You're never going to be so early to a niche as you can be right now with AI. There's literally no niche out there in terms of content that will grow faster than AI is growing right now. So there's a lot of people because there's a lot of places for people that do AI in the media, in the social media space right now. So this is why people are fighting for it, because they know how good this thing is going to be into 6, 12, 2 years, months, 2 years or 6 months. Sorry. How do you handle inconsistent AI outputs across different sessions with the same prompt? Uh, it's just about nailing some of the main styles. So, for example, if I'm looking to create a certain image, I want to nail down that specific style, and then I'm moving to the next one. So I just want to nail down my styles first, and then even if we have some inconsistency in the output, I can change them later or I can come back. But as long as like my first reference images and like my starting point, my base is good, I'm fine with it. There's no really a sweet spot for posting regularly. We had moments. We have moments in which we post like 3 times a week, and we grew faster than when we post 10 times a week. So as long as your content is good and you post consistently, the amount of times is not that important. Is there a legal risk using certain AI models for commercial brand work like licensing issues? I think the biggest risk that you can get from AI is using brands. So if you use like certain brands, or if you're copying, blatantly copying something, or if you use characters that actually exist. So this is what I'm trying to say. Like, if you're using something that's already been existing, like Batman, for example, you cannot use Batman and say that it's yours. Usually that comes when you're doing like creative processes and when you're doing working with brands. That's where you shouldn't use this. But then there's also fair use. Then you can just like do fan fiction, as people call it, if you just want to create your own style. But usually just don't use characters that exist. Nobody has a trademark on styles when it comes to animations. You can basically do whatever you want with the styles, because there's nobody that actually owns a certain type of style. If I'm saying the 2D geometric style, nobody owns that style. I can create whatever in that style, even though it might resemble somebody that did it in the past. Any kind of work would kind of resemble something in the past. How vital is Mid Journey right now to getting the great look animation, and particularly class skills from prompting? As I said, I think like Mid Journey is one of the most important tools that you can use right now to set you apart from the rest of the AI creators. Most of the AI creators that you see online, and I'm not gonna drop names, although I think you might know who I'm talking about. There's a lot of people out there that are super big in the AI space, and they make the worst slop that you can see out there. Honestly, it's so bad. And you can definitely tell that that image has come from a GPT prompt that's been lazily done with no skill on Claude. So if you follow the process of having Mid Journey and some good prompting skills together with a Nano Banana or GPT, and you combine these three together, you're gonna get something that's not sloppy. Do you niche down, like only fashion brands, only gaming, or stay broad early on? Do whatever you like. Honestly, do whatever you like. You'll see that in time, if you continue to grow, you'll be able to expand. So, or niche even more. So, just do whatever you want in terms of the strategy, and find what you like to create if you haven't created until now. Can you really tell me, how do you create a character voiceovers? The level of control you have over the dialogues delivery in your videos doesn't seem like something it's achievable using level labs. Um, it's a lot of times it's actually just dance. A lot of times, if you prompt it right in Claude, you should be able to get it. Now, obviously, the voice might differ no matter how much you instruct students to commit to a certain voice. But I would say that just Cdance, use Cdance first, and then 11 Labs with they have a new feature that is actually pretty cool. You can create a video in Cdance, tell the character to say something. So I might say I like AI animation as a character, and this is what your character will say in Cdance, in the Cdance video. And then you take the voice, you take the sound of that video, and you put it in 11 Labs, and then you can create a new voice. You can customize the voice as you want, and you can just then do a voice changer. You take the voice changing the changed voice, and you put it back into original video. And if this sounds complex, it's not at all. You just take the voice, original voice, you change it in 11 Labs, and you go back. And then whenever you post it, it's going to be literally in the same timestamp that the character talks. What is good, different genres and styles, or one style and an episodic content? Again, doesn't really matter, especially at the beginning. You just want to create good content. Just create good content that you like. Find a style that you like. Try to get good at it, and after that, go back and say, okay, I want to change it. And you'll see in time, you're gonna get tired of one style. You'll see how many possibilities there are with AI to create so many type of animations or styles, that you're probably not gonna settle for one single one. But if you really like one and you want to become a super top expert in one, it's great to do that one. And it's good for the branding as well, because people might associate that style with your content. But there's a bunch of good animators out there that have like so many styles, and people don't associate them with one in particular. Is Are there limited types of animations? I know only whiteboard, 2D, and 3D. There's a bunch of them. Trust me, there's so many that I think it would take me 2 or 3 hours just to name the ones that I know and I work with. And there's so much more, and I only know like 1% of them. And a lot of them realistically don't have a name. And when you create them in AI, especially when you take multiple references, you will create something new that is not even going to have a name, and you need to come up with a name. So yeah, there's a bunch of things. From where we can use Seedance except Higgsfield, like you can use ByteDance because ByteDance is actually creating Seedance. You can look at ByteDance. Uh, it's kind of good if you want to use it. How do you handle music licensing or any animation content, original score licensing tracks, or AI generated music too? Uh, I'm not exactly sure if you need to, especially if it's not a track that is recognizable. Obviously, if it's a track that's recognizable, that you need to change it. But most of the times when we do a Seedance video that it's for client, we try to be very specific with the fact that, hey, please do not add any kind of music, just sound effects and voice, but no music in the Seedance prompt. So when you get the output video, there's not going to be any music, and we will add music on top of it. And it's probably going to be, usually Instagram doesn't really have a problem if we're going to create that with an existing music. We're using their edit tab because they have a big library of music in their in their with their content. What are your thoughts about in-video AI agent? I think all agents that help you keep consistent things are amazing. I really like working with the AI agent from InVideo. I think it's super easy to use and super intuitive. They are coming up with InVideo Agent 2. I'm super excited for that actually. It's very cool for keeping things in track, and it's so easy. You just give him directions and he's literally picking the models for you. So amazing. Okay, oh, I think we are going a bit over the time limit. Um, if you have any more questions, okay, let's just give. I'm gonna give you like 5 more minutes for questions. If you have more questions, I'm gonna try to answer 3 more questions before I hop off. Uh, what do you think about creating a short movie and films? Can AI replace the film industry, or the top of the future is on? Okay, so I'm guessing like if the AI can replace the film industry, replace is such a hard word because at the end of the day, you still need humans to really connect. This is more of a philosophical question, to be honest, for me, but it's more about being able to connect with the emotions and everything else. I don't think they will be able to replace it. As a very um, good animator once said, AI is not going to replace you, but somebody using AI better than you probably will. So AI will become part of the workflow. Is it going to replace you? I don't think so, but it's part of the workflow. You definitely need AI to have the best workflow. What's your onboarding process for a new client? What do you ask them before starting the project? So first we need to look at the budgeting, like what's the budget? What budget do they have? Then we need to look at the scope of the project, like is it one-off real? Do you want to collaborate with me for a longer time? There's a bunch of sets of questions that you need to ask before you can ask them to establish if you want to work with them or or not. It's not necessarily as easy. It's not like a one-off. I usually try to have like a template that you can customize them for different clients, but usually they come up to you. You have a conversation about what they try to achieve, and then you establish a budget. You negotiate. You try to find a middle ground if you really want to work on the project, and then you get started. It's not you get a brief from the clients, and then you get started. You get going. You send them the video. They might want a revision. You take it back, you revise it, you send it back to them, and then you get it posted. So this is pretty much how it is, or you send it back to them. It's not necessarily an onboarding process because in the end of the day, everything moves so fast, you don't really have time for an official onboarding. All right, guys. So I really appreciate your time. I really hope to see you in the next live as well. If not, you can rewatch these lives as well. And I really hope I'll see you Sunday in the community. If you guys want to join, again, we have 200 places available for the discounted rate. And after that, we're going to close the community once we hit that 200 people. So the first 200 people in the community will be able to join, and I really hope to see you guys there. If you find this kind of content valuable, we'll try to share more things and we'll help you guys with the monetization as much as possible. We have a dedicated person. You met it today, Marcelino. He's going to be there with you guys. And yeah, It was a pleasure me talking to you guys, and I hope you got a lot from this session. And I'll see you next time. Peace.